This podcast is hardly focused.
The French.
Fyre Festival. So we all know the story, but if you don't, that was the humanitarian crisis that happened in 2017.
The FEMA tents.
Back then, this podcast, we were doing it for a period in 2017. It was a live show. It was live streamed, and we were pretty much live streaming the unfurling of Fyre Fest as it was happening when people were arriving in Great Exuma in the Bahamas and finding that there were no accommodations and that the concierge tent was literally just plywood with haphazardly put together, not even level. It was
my God.
comical. And then the food, the cheese sandwiches that went viral, just everything about that. And then Blink-182 being the first to pull out of the event, followed by literally every other artist on the bill. Yeah. And
oh man, what a disaster.
Yeah, I was, have you watched either the Netflix or the Hulu documentary about it?
I haven't, but I should.
Yeah.
Because I was watching the drama and I was loving that.
Yeah, they interview. Now, I only saw the Netflix one. I know that the Hulu one is really not much different beyond the Hulu one. They were able to interview Billy McFarland, who is the founder of Fyre Festival and Fyre as a company. And this was right before he was going to jail too. So they effectively did like his last interview in the next
before going in.
I think like quite literally the next day. Yeah, he went to prison.
Oh wow.
But the Netflix one, it's like they're interviewing there was like a local restaurant that like attendees when they arrived on the island were dumped at just to I guess distract them from their last minute preparations of the festival grounds. And the poor lady who was running the place, she lost pretty much all her money just having to accommodate all these people because there were like no plans in place, and
oh gosh,
no one was given a heads up about anything. And I think like crowdfunding was able to help her out after the documentary hit. There was this other dude went viral because he was so desperate, I think, to secure like pallets of bottled water that he was willing to suck someone off to secure it.
Wait, I think I remember hearing about that. I think I remember, and like maybe seeing a clip or something of some guy saying that. Yeah, he was like, oh my gosh, I remember that bit.
Kanye West style.
Blowjobs for water.
So
you got to do what you got to do.
So that happens. Fyre Fest is a spectacular failure. I am very vocal and critical of anyone that equates any sort of inconvenience to Fyre Festival, because unless the thing that is being used as a point of comparison is happening on a desert island where you literally have no way of getting off, then you're fine. Anyone who's like, oh, this music festival, it's just like Fyre Festival. I'm like, all right, maybe from like a logistical standpoint, if things aren't going according to plan, then sure, you can complain about it. To compare it to Fyre Festivals, like comparing a fender bender to 9/11, but
9/11.
But to say like, oh, I'm stuck here and I can't get out.
You're trapped.
Like even like Coachella, when people were complaining about trying to get in the Coachella a couple weekends ago.
The lines, yeah.
And they're like, this is just as bad as Fyre Festival. No, you're in a motor vehicle that has gas and you're in a civilized area.
Yeah, weren't people like sabotaging other tents, and like it was getting very like it got pretty wild pretty quick from what I remember.
Yeah, at Fyre Festivals.
Yeah,
people were equating it rightly so to Lord of the Flies. Like just like,
people just going crazy. I mean, yeah, there's no food. You're stuck on a desert island with no way to get out. Sun's beating down on you, and you got no entertainment, no Blink-182. I would riot too.
Someone went. I forget who it was. It was a comedian, and they went on. They went on Conan, and I remember they were talking about Fyre Festival, and they made some line, and I can't remember exactly what it is verbatim, but it was just like digging all over people who spent thousands of dollars to travel to the Bahamas just to see Blink-182. Like,
right.
Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, I love Blink-182. Get me wrong, they're one of my favorite bands, but I'm not that dumb. I'm not that.
No,
desperate.
I don't have that kind of disposable income. I have a horse armor income, but not Fyre Festival income. I got Jaguar Waymo money, not Jaguar money. Difference.
That was good. So Billy McFarland, he then goes to prison. He's supposed to serve a 6-year prison sentence. He didn't serve all of it. He got out in 2022. And first thing that motherfucker does is he begins to plan Fyre Festival 2.
One more time.
We didn't learn our lesson. It's something that we've talked a lot about just getting older and the follies of getting older. And as I've gotten older, I've learned, especially in the last, say, 10 years, that we don't learn our lessons. We just
keep going through the cycles.
Yeah. We have people telling us, warning us, saying, if you do this, bad things are going to happen. And we just... La, 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 la. Yeah.
But now we're trying to warn people and they're not listening. And it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Kids these days.
We should have listened to this guy.
Consequences will never be the same.
Consequences will never be the same.
That's true.
So Fyre Festival 2, that was supposed to happen in Mexico later this spring. I think it was supposed to happen like maybe the last weekend of May going into June. It was initially going to happen. I'm going to totally butcher the name of this. I apologize. Isla Mujeres?
Yeah. Mujeres?
Isla Nublar.
Yes, that one. I know that place.
It was initially going to be held there, and then the local officials denied any knowledge of the event happening there. So then it moved to Playa del Carmen, and officials there pretty much said the same thing. We know nothing of a festival that's happening here, and this McFarland guy has not secured the right permits to hold such a festival.
Sounds like things are going great so far.
And people had already bought tickets at this point. People spent money on tickets for Fyre Festival 2. There was like a package that was worth like $1 million. That was like the ultimate platinum VIP. I think it was called like the Prometheus package or something like that. You
get the ultimate FEMA tent.
The ultimate FEMA tent, yeah.
Best FEMA tent we got, baby.
This was used in Katrina, man.
It's vintage. For the hipsters. There's no hipsters anymore.
No, they all have mushroom, the mushroom heads, the broccoli heads.
What is that?
Right?
I know it's not for me. I get I've aged out of it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, like I have to be careful with how I get my hair cut. And because you have the actual I got the curly hair.
You don't gotta get a perm.
Yeah, either I slick it back or I wear a hat.
Yep, you just gotta hide it.
Very rarely do I ever have it just unstyled.
Just hide it.
I'll look like one of those youths of today with the brain rot and the skibidi toilet and the chicken jockey and
oh my god
and all that. So Billy McFarland, he's told by the officials in Playa del Carmen that he did not secure the necessary permits to hold a full-blown music festival. He says that I did secure the permits. The permit, he only had one permit, and it was to hold a listening party at a beach club for a maximum of 250 people for 4 hours a day over 3 days, and those 4 hours being in the middle of the night. So
that's interesting time to get a permit. I'm surprised you can get a permit at. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Well, he's a fraudster, and I'm sure he thought that if he just had something, he could write that off and say, "I have all the necessary paperwork." And unfortunately, people are a lot smarter than he's giving them credit for, considering he is not smart at all.
At all. Cannot plan to save his life.
The fact that he the balls on him to try this again.
Right? So soon. Like, surely he must have known that everyone would be watching him closely.
Right.
Like, there's no way he didn't know that. So then to just redo all of this just as shittily. What's going on?
Have you gone, because I know you talked about going to Austin City Limits. Have you been to either a festival or a concert that was like, maybe disastrous is an extreme word, but just like it was just awful and you wanted to get out of there, or you ended up leaving early because it was just so bad?
Yeah, thankfully, no. And ACL was done pretty well. I will say, listen, I'm 5 feet tall, so me at a music festival, I'm already at a disadvantage, right? I will say, like, some of the crowds were a little bit tough to be in, but that wasn't like the festival's fault. There's just a lot of people here to see the Marias and Chapel Roan.
Nice.
But there was a moment after Chapel Roan when like the crowd was moving. And again, it might have just been my perspective because I'm short, but like it got a little scary just being like, hey, I'm getting moved and I'm not choosing to move right now. Like,
yeah.
But so thankfully nothing, Fyre Fest level.
That's good.
Yes.
That is good.
Yes. No shitty sandwiches. No FEMA tents.
I remember when we saw Biffy Clyro and you were like yelling because you were short and you couldn't see anything.
I know, but like I can't see. But it was awesome because like a lot of people who would hear me say that would just like let me in front of them. Like people were usually pretty cool about it for the most part. Some people sucked. But
I always feel bad because I'm about 6 feet tall and I know I could be blocking someone behind me, but it's always my luck that someone will then stand in front of me who is somehow taller than me.
Even taller. It's like, what are you doing?
So I'm going to try that. I'm going to start saying, I'm short. I can't
see. They turn around and they'll look up. What are you talking about? Get out of here, dude. Well, you just go with someone who's short and then just be like, I'm with the short person.
Yeah. Yeah, I should.
I can't choose.
Yeah, you're right. I should do that. We bring up Fyre Fest. The reason why this is coming up is because now that Billy McFarland has now failed twice, but the second time has not nearly killed people as a result. A documentarian named Sean Reck has purchased the IP, some of the IP, including 2 trademarks for Fyre Festival, and he is creating a music-focused, subscription-based video-on-demand platform. That's a lot of words.
It is.
But it will
a lot of words to say what?
It will be called Fyre. Fyre. And he's
okay.
He already has experience in this realm. He has a true crime streaming platform called True Blue. He formed that with Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator.
Okay.
And he says, quote, just from Deadline, he says, I needed a big name that people would remember, even if it's attached to infamy. So that's why I bought these trademarks. That's how you do it. That's genius, because that's going to get people's attention. They're going to see Fyre and they're going to see that logo. I'm assuming he purchased a logo to it as well.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and people are going to flock to this. It's going to be a paid subscription service. It's going to be a fast channel, which you can get on streaming devices, streaming sticks, kind of like Pluto TV, one of those. That'll be ad supported. It will feature user-submitted content leaning heavy in hip-hop and pop. There'll also be an audio-only streaming option. That coming from Consequence. And the cherry on top, unfortunately, Billy McFarland will have some degree of involvement in this new service.
So, like, what if this becomes successful and then he ends up seeing success through this, like, weird meandering route where, like, he didn't even do, like, his failure led to someone else succeeding. And so now that would just be so weird.
That's probably what's going to happen. And there's going to be, like, a lawsuit and McFarland's going to try to get residuals.
Get more. Yeah.
More than what he's owed. And it's going to be this whole to-do.
More drama.
But at least we have someone who has experience with this. It has the likelihood of working. I'd say a lesser degree of likelihood of success, but it will definitely work.
People hopefully won't die or potentially die.
Yeah. I think like if there's like a tiered subscription service, then like one of those tiers should like reward like a cheese sandwich in the mail.
Right. Just like really lean into it. That could kind of be funny.
Yeah, have fun with it. If this Sean Reck guy's smart, have fun.
I mean,
with
we
it.
love memes. Like, just go for it.
McFarland seems like the kind of guy who would get like really upset if you poked fun at what happened with Fyre Festival. Like he wouldn't be able to just laugh it off and say, "Oh yeah, I'm stupid."
Yeah, he doesn't seem the type.
Like he wants to prove that he is better than you, that he's smarter than you, and
it was all part of his plan.
And
whatever.
And then stay tuned for Fyre Festival 3 because I'm sure.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try to leverage this new service.
Do you think so?
A third festival, yeah.
Oh my gosh. If I was this Sean Reck guy, I would have put something in like the contract to be like, you can never do this again. Like, they're done. There are no more festivals.
Yeah.
This is a service.
He can be involved just because McFarland can be involved just because it's his brand name, but there's got to be like a clause in the contract that says if you so much as exist, we can sue you.
Hopefully, I mean, because this guy is bananas. I wonder if it'll work out. I mean, listen, I'm not a businessman. I don't know anything about buying trademarks or anything like that. But gosh, I would not want to be buying something that has such a reputation attached and be like, all right, let's build something from it. Like, oh, what a headache.
Some people do just for the, I guess like the name recognition alone. You see that with retail, like Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, that was a retailer that failed. I mean, they had a business, but I believe it was Overstock.com is now bedbathandbeyond.com. They bought the name and like the logo and everything, and they rebranded their company. So when
did this happen?
Right after Bed Bath & Beyond as a retailer, a brick and mortar retailer folded.
No shit.
Yeah. So like because that'll happen. The retailer will fold and then they will like continue to exist as an online retailer. But this was an instance of another company saying, like, hey, we're already pretty well known thanks to like a good advertising campaign that, people know Overstock.com. What if we take it one step further and, go with something that's even more well known than we are? And it was still fresh in people's minds. And you're still buying all the same junk that like Overstock.com sold the same stuff I believe Bed Bath & Beyond did.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, I'm upset that place closed. I bought a lot of useful shit.
I loved Bed Bath & Beyond.
I was
like, oh.
Yeah. The one near me was like one of the last ones to close. And it's depressing because like all the other ones that I would go to, all one by one went out of business. And then this one held on by a thread. But that's, if I needed like a vacuum cleaner or like a rug.
Home warming gift.
Sure, yeah. Or like weird flavored coffee. I knew I could always find it at Bed Bath & Beyond. So
right.
Genuinely like upset that that variant of it no longer exists.